Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Meaining for it, and we are here for another poetry discussion. Another poetry discussion that comes to us straight from the pages of Charles Bukowski. This collection, known as You Get So Alone at Times That It Just Makes Sense. The poem in question happens on pages 195 and 196, and it is titled Relentless as the Tarantula. It reads as such. They're not going to let you sit at a front table at some cafe in Europe in the mid-afternoon sun. If you do, somebody's going to drive by and spray your guts with a submachine gun. They're not going to let you feel good for very long anywhere. The forces aren't going to let you sit around fucking off and relaxing. You've got to do it their way. The unhappy, the bitter, the vengeful need their fix, which is you or somebody, anybody in agony, or better yet, dead, dropped into some hole. As long as there are human beings about, there is never going to be any peace for any individual upon this earth or anywhere else they might escape to. All you can do is maybe grab 10 lucky minutes here or maybe an hour there. Something is working toward you right now. And I mean you and nobody else. Well, I'll be goddamned. Isn't that the truth? Misery loves company, and the miserable love their company too. What is it? What I want to know is, what is the human mechanism behind this? What is it about being miserable that makes you want to see other people miserable too? And for what human emotions does this reign true? Sadness, I think definitely this rings true. There are moments throughout literature, the only one that's coming to mind right now that I can not quote, but really point to is Harry Potter. And I don't really remember the character, but someone dies in Harry Potter, and Harry Potter goes to school the next day, and there's all these people running about and they're happy, and he doesn't understand it. How can those people be happy? This is the worst day in history. X, Y, and Z died. I don't remember who it was, but that moment happens, right? It's a very real moment, it's a very human moment. Happens throughout literature, movies, poetry. I am sad, looking out. I don't understand how you people aren't sad too. So for sadness, certainly it happens. I don't know that it happens on the positive side of the spectrum. Think of the moments of elation. Someone wins the Super Bowl. The team on the other sideline is not ecstatic. Doesn't really hamper your happiness. The positive emotions in life maybe need no company. But the negative emotions, the negative shits running amongst us, the vengeful little creeps, they feel the need to be heard. They feel the need to share that emotion. Why is that? So thinking about that, I want to read this again and try to imagine it with some positive emotion. They're not going to let you sit at the table at some cafe in Europe in the mid-afternoon sun. If you do, somebody's going to drive by and spray your guts with a submachine gun. They're not going to let you feel good for very long anywhere. The forces aren't going to let you sit around fucking off and relaxing. You've got to do it their way. The unhappy, the bitter, and the vengeful need their fix, which is somebody, you or somebody, anybody in agony, or better yet, dead, dropped into some hole. As long as there are human beings about, there is never going to be any peace for any individual upon this earth, or anywhere else they might escape to. All you can do is maybe grab 10 lucky minutes here, or maybe an hour there. Something is working toward you right now. And I mean you, and nobody but you. Does that happen for the positive emotions? Think about the magazines while you're standing in line at the grocery store. Are they celebratory? Are they about the good things, the happy things, the people who've just had a baby? No, they're about the sad things, the bad things, the mad things. People who've been canceled. People who may or may not have done this thing. People who may or may not have done that thing. People who got married despite this other thing. It's never happy stuff. It's never good stuff. It's never good moments. It's never great moments. It's never good stuff. It's just the bad. Why is that? Why do we need that? Why do we need to see people? So in those magazines, it's always famous people that we thought were so much better than us, living lives so much better than ours. And we have to see them crushed. We have to see their ugly moments. We have to see their terrible scenes. We have to know what bad things they might have done. Never stopping to realize that everyone has shitty moments at some point. We just have to know that they're worse than us. We need that, don't we? But why? Why don't we need to celebrate the good for them? Do you seek out company in your best moments? Do you seek out people with whom to celebrate? People for whom to celebrate? Or are you too high on the Schadenfreude spectrum? Think about the places we go to celebrate. Think about the places we go to feel good. Think about the places we go to revel. Nightclubs, dance halls. I don't know what people do. Concerts, movies. And we're all there alone or in our own little groups. Now think about the places that we go to be sad. Funerals. Funerals are held for an individual. Everyone is there to focus on the same sadness. We don't have mass or joint funerals. You might contend weddings. But what is the one thing that you hope for a wedding? You hope, if it's not your wedding, you hope to have a date for a wedding. You hope to have your own little pairing at that celebration. We don't do that at funerals. We don't hope to have a date at a funeral. We're all there at a funeral or a wake or whatever to celebrate to concentrate on the same sadness, the same very sadness. And I think that's a weird thing, and I wonder why. Why is it that our happiness, that our celebrations, are more focused, more individualized? Is it that we are worried that the goodness therein might be limited in a way that sadness would not be? If I share with you, a stranger, all of my goodness, well, maybe there won't be enough left. Maybe I won't have all the celebratory goodness that I desire. Maybe I'll be pressed back into action to find some other win in life. Sadness is not necessarily that same way. Revenge is not necessarily that same way. Misery, not necessarily that same way. but it is a strange conundrum. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. I have new videos on the channel Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays are for poetry. I have new videos on my personal channel, a link to which can be found in the description below most Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I hope to see you over there as well. I've really enjoyed doing poetry discussions this year.